What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to give you guys a quick stock market update and go through current events and with Trump and Nvidia earnings. And I want to give you guys a quick thought on where I see the stock market going, especially for the S&P 500 over the next few weeks. Now, if you haven't already, I make all my updates on the ToastBeans application. It's on iOS platform, and I provide daily updates on the stock market, individual stocks like Nvidia, AMD, Amazon. And also have a huge community on the application, about 100 members. So go ahead and check it out. It's free for download. Now, we had Nvidia earnings and three key takeaways from Nvidia earnings: China below, cloud strength, and AI future. So it's interesting because going into earnings, I think a lot of people were kind of nervous what the effect for the chip export restrictions were for on China. But it seems like Wall Street liked what they hear, especially maybe the damage wasn't as great as what they thought it was. So the stock market actually rallied post Nvidia earnings. You can see that Nvidia came all the way up to like 143 from 135, about a 6% jump. And the S&P 500 futures and QQQ also like about 1 to 2%. So the market was up post Nvidia earnings, but what brought it down on Thursday was basically Trump tariff. So basically, court actually asked or ruled that Trump tariffs were he exercised too much power and kind of blocked it a little bit, and now Trump tariffs are remain in effect after appeals courts grants stay. So you can see that we had a bit of volatility, about 24 hours of volatility, and interestingly enough, I would say that Wall Street actually pays less and less attention to these tariffs. I would say they have less an effect on the overall stock market, and you could see that with all these bears on X, and they're saying like, oh, tariffs are going to squash, gonna pull down the markets. But you can see that on the S&P 500 charts, when the tariffs were first announced, they were down here, right? There was so much uncertainty, they don't know what was going on. And we sort of rebounded off of that, and tariffs again here with China, 145% tariffs, and then boom, went up, right? And now we have more tariff news with EU fights and China again, but there's some hiccups with the China deal. But now you can see that we're China trading sideways, so we're not really moving down anymore. And I would say that after this resolution here, I think we get a pop to the upside. You can see that 4 hour. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see the 4 hour is trying to curl up, and we got that push down initially on S&P 500, and then we recovered. Same thing with the QQQ. See the Nasdaq actually, it's holding the 100 much better than the S&P 500. So I believe that after this resolution, we do get another push to the upside. Another reason why is because if you look at the SPY chart, hopefully this is connecting. If you look at the SPY chart and I switch to the weekly time frame, you can see that the bullish momentum is still there on the MACD, the MACD. And the signals the bullish momentum, even though we stalled for about 3 weeks. I believe that after this consolidation is done, we resume to the upside because of the MACD. We just got a bullish cross. So, and we held the 100 pretty well. So I think that any downside it would pretty much be mitigated, especially when with this EMA trying to catch up, and it's holding above the 20, the 50, and the 9 EMA. You could see that it's acting as really strong support, and we're just kind of hovering around that. So I'm not sure this gap gets filled anytime soon, but you could see that we closed at around 589. So technically we could drop to like closer to 570, 575, and still maintain that uptrend. So even if we get a little bit of volatility next week, I would expect dip buyers to step in and try to push this thing much higher, especially if we get any resolution with the tariffs. Trump over the weekend, he announced, I think, 50% tariffs on steel, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so a bunch of news coming out. You can see that, like I mentioned, these tariffs are having a less and less effect on the overall stock market. People are just buying the dip. And so that's what I'm going to be looking for over the next few weeks. And that's how I'm going to be positioning myself. So hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys found this helpful, give my Toast Beans app a download, leave some comments down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.